Hello everyone, I'm the Spectre. We're back in episode 2. Now, a few housekeeping things. I think, yes, okay. So I did take the liberty on this time of doing the party creation and things ahead of time. Simply put, we are going to be going to the catacombs because that's the only place we can go. And because of how much protections we saw the things had before, at least in terms of the frontline things, I decided to change around Boudica so that they are using more of their leading skills. I've moved around things so that we are not changing ammo, because frankly I wanted to try out Patch Up and Buckshot. And the standard ammo should be fine, because we can destroy their protections and we can pierce armor, which at the moment seems to be a decent amount of what we're going to be facing. Now, when it comes to our Crusader and our Vestal, it is a little bit strange that they're faithless. And the reason it's strange that they're faithless is because Bulwark of Faith, which is something I'm going to want to use, works off of other religious heroes. You might note, we have no other religious heroes. I think the only one we have is Barristan. Yeah. Similar thing with... Where is it? I know it's somewhere here. It's not. I guess it's not in the Vestal's base kit, but it's in their camping abilities. The camping abilities for the Vestal pretty much all have some effect, apart from their prevention of nighttime ambush. They all have some effect that requires the better part of the effect to happen only if a party member is religious. And similar thing with the Crusader. Because of that, there is a chance that I was leading in with the camping skill thing. I was going to train camping skills before this, but I think it's early enough we can manage without, combined with I don't think we're going to be keeping Vastal and the Vestal. I just realized how confusing that's going to be with me probably switching between names and classes. But without them being religious, they lose a decent bit, at least in Black Reliquary, of course, because religious affiliation is only a thing in Black Reliquary. They lose a decent bit of their power. Obviously, we should still keep them, but I am going to be keeping my eye out for a religious Crusader or Vestal, and quite possibly removing these guys. But, getting back to it, we have just some backline things, some healing, ability to use XP8 on our side, with a damage debuff, as well as the stun and the torch rays. We have the damage of Margaret, their trinkets as well. The trinket for this one is less resolve XP, because if I can't find a religious vessel for a while, you just always need a healer in lower levels, and I don't want them to level out too quickly because of that. Accuracy, damage, speed, crit, just all general good stuff for damage dealer in our Musketeer. Our Vastal the Crusader has a protection increase as well as max XP increase, because I am planning on using Bulwark of Faith with them early so that they mark themselves and they make themselves the main target. We're going to be using Smite so they can do some damage in the front line, as well as a little bit of stress and normal healing, with the stress healing have extra torch on it, as well as the Bulwark. With the Bulwark and the torch on the Inspiring Cry, as well as Dazzling Light, I'm basically going to use this as a test run to see how few torches I can get away with. Like, if there are enough fights, how cheap can I skimp on torches? Also, this is just something funny about this specific Crusader, but the reason I'm not using Zealous Accusation, despite the fact that it does prop reductions, well, couple reasons. One, we do already have a prep round reduction of protections, and usually that will be enough, at least in these early levels from what I can tell. Obviously, assuming they don't resist the debuff, but that's a separate thing. But this counts as a mystical skill now. And they have Clouded Mind, which means they have lower accuracy. And specifically because it's early game and we have like one accuracy trinket, I don't want to tempt things, considering that early game Darkest Dungeon normally can be quite the misfest if you're not careful. Funnily enough, they also have Mystic, so they get bonuses for using mystical skills, but that accuracy downgrade I do not want to have to deal with, mainly. But yes, this is the main thing, and I just give some armor piercing to Boudica, that way, you know, they can just do a finishing blow. But again, we're gonna mostly be focusing on them with bleed. Anywho, we're going to be going towards, I saw it earlier, yeah, here. We're going to be going to get the Chevalier's Seal, which is less stress received and more protections. Both really good things. The Charm of Order does something similar, but as you can imagine, putting them together, especially early, could be quite useful, especially considering stress management can be a run killer if you're not careful, so having something that reduces it on your tank is very good. I understand this has been a very long time just on the intro. This is another thing I'm going to say. From now on, my thoughts and like my making of the party and all of my tactical layer stuff, I'm going to be putting in a separate video. That separate video will be unlisted, and the link to it will be in the episode of the like dungeon mission, basically. So what that means is, if I'm going out with this team, this part would have been in a separate video in the description as like a 0.5 episode. Because I do understand that some people do not like the giant management on this layer. That can happen. Because it can be anywhere from like 5 minutes to 30 if you're going in depth. But anywho, let's make sure we go to the right dungeon. And provision. But again, the main line, like the main numbered episodes will just be the dungeons. I feel like that's a simple way to split it so that people get, people see what they want to see. I'm gonna go with only one stack of torches, especially because again we have all of that torch increase and the firewood. This is mainly a test. If you're wondering, by the way, why are you testing this now? Test it later when it's safer. I'm testing it now because I think we can at least get through one, and the sooner I know about how much gold we can save, the better off we're going to be, and the more we can spend gold on other things like increasing our skills. It's a simple reasoning, but especially with me needing, at the moment, to take at least one. I will take a disease kit. I'm going to take one of these, and I'm just going to try to also keep an internal note of, like, which areas require which curios more and more. Or which item more. You know what I mean. Which room curio will require, or not room curio, actually, but which interactables get me the most loot, and which interactables will I need to keep myself alive, and then I'll adjust my play accordingly. But again, for right now, I don't know, so I like to take just a complement of one each, so I'm not overspending. Because missing out on a little bit of loot now, consider the fact that if I took two of each and only one type of item was used, there's a good chance whatever loot I gained from that, I would have lost next to provisioning.
With the Kovarot's people. Let us see what they have left behind.
Didn't realize this would pop up here, but this is something that I noticed yesterday, I think, when I was looking back on some normal Doctor's Dungeon gameplay. The display for enemy skills has been updated, and now in addition to showing more of the skill's effects, it also includes information about where and what targets the skill can be used on. In info comms, accessible via the G or main menu, you can see explanations and the meaning of blah blah blah. Just like before, a skill needs to be seen to show on the panel. So long story short, once we see a skill, we get full-on like anime superpowers where we get to know all the stuff about that skill. The only thing we do not get to know about the skill, I do believe, is technically the amount of like stress it will inflict if it's stress. The amount of like any numbers things, it won't tell us. But it will tell us if it is a debuff, or a stun, or a disease chance, or a horror, or things like that. And it will also not tell us cooldowns. Now, from what I understand, this is something that I've heard, and I feel like it is true. Not every enemy, I should say, but quite a decent number of enemies in Darkest Dungeon, at least in the original Darkest Dungeon, have cooldowns on their skills where they can't use, just like some of our heroes do, so they can't use the most powerful skill back to back. It won't show us cooldown from what I can tell. So that's still something we would have to guess on if they had cooldown or not. Those are the two people. I mean, the accuracy reduction is nice. I will lie on that one. This would be the damage and crit. I can reach them, and they did do Samsara Incarnation, which debuff and mark resist. Yeah, okay, that would be why. Samsara Death. Okay, let us weaken you and get an XP 8 on you. I mainly did that just for the damage reduction. But yes. Guard duty. Okay. I will then Bulwark of Faith.
We follow the ever-guiding light.
Yes, the ever-guiding light that shall destroy them. Is it debuff and stun? Okay, it's debuff and mark. With extra protections because of the guard. It's the rank 1 run, right? Yeah. So this guard... This is a 70% chance to break... You have if it bleeds. Yeah, you have if it bleeds on. So, this is a 70% chance to break this guard. Because it will stun. Okay, that breaks the guard. With the broken guard, that's Caustic Impact. Wanna minimize that. Bleeding Blight. Painted Slish. Let's do some... If it bleeds... So, they are bleeding now, so that is good. I don't actually want to use Buckshot here. I do want to use Standard Shot, because... Frankly, anytime something can buff an entire team, just know. Bad. Kill it. With fire. Samsara Life, so that's gotta be healing now. That as well. I don't think I can reach them with... Yes, no, I cannot reach them with my Crusader. However... You have prop bonus. You have prop bonus. I suppose I'll just try and attack the one at the front. Yeah. Have to miss sometime. No! Don't hit me again! Chakram. So that's more damage and more crit. Okay. So as they do more stuff, they get more shit. I don't like that. You are, however, currently, rather than using Standard Shot, I can use Buckshot against you. And the hit chance doesn't change by a notable enough. Although the damage does. Hold up. I'm just gonna do the Standard Shot. I just wanted them dead. Having them dead is more important than having 2 people damaged. Also going to start bleeding this one. And... Are you guarding? Yeah, okay, they're guarding the Thaumaturge, but breaking the guard doesn't really do much. The light's at 100, so I don't need to worry about that. I will just... make them expiated. Okay, train slash. We do get some healing at the very least from it. I will wail on the front guy with Vastal, our Crusader. Not our Vestal. Vastal's not our Vestal. I will once more miss. Have to expect in the early game. Great! Good. Good. Good, good, good. Me likey that. Okay, train slash. That's a decent amount of damage on us. Sinister inoculation. And that's a cure. That is a cure with, it looks like, resists to move, stun, debuff, resists to pretty much everything added on to it. they have a lower stun resist, and they're far enough back they can still use Caustic Impact. That's what I'm worried about, because Caustic Impact, since it can cause a disease or a symptom in this case, that's something I have to deal with on the meta level. So I'm just gonna stun them to try to stun them, I should have said. Yeah. Let's just hit the guy with a sword. Hit the guy with a sword, technically. Okay. 5 damage per turn. That is not a bad amount of light that has been hoisted upon them. We're going to just take a shot. And I will heal them. Mainly because if I heal them, then I can use this heal over here to reduce some stress. Maybe I should have gone after the... It depends on... Okay, it didn't hit, so that's good. Also, I forgot they weren't stunned, I'll be honest. There we go. We got some healing off before we killed them. That's the good thing. Okay, we got a torch. And because of the way stacking works, I'm just going to count that it's a free torch we can use for testing purposes. Whenever we feel it necessary, if we ever feel it necessary. So, nothing in here, no scouting either. Oop, your thing. A dust-covered... I really need to figure out how to pronounce this. It's a weapon? So that just makes me think bandages. No? No, I feel like archaeology kit would be more... And even... No, okay, we're just gonna touch it then. Ah, it was ranged. Judging by the way that it was described, it didn't say ranged weaponry if I recall correctly. I can only imagine it's like a 50-50 of ranged or melee. So, I'll check next time with the musketeer. Okay, let's... Funnily enough, no prot. I built this to deal with prot because I was expecting to deal with more of the guards, but no. No. I'm dealing with more of the sports. It's will lower their accuracy though, which is not nothing. It isn't quite something. So, let us see. Let's barbaric. Yup. So that we can lower their dodge and damage of their front lines. I don't know exactly who I want to actually target first here. I'm thinking I want to target the yeah, I'm like it's almost always the backline that you want to start to target, but I think it's this one because this is damage and support, which is just that's never a good combination if you want to live. And these guys are going to be riposting anyway, so me trying to hit them while everything else is going on, it's just going to be attacks on my health that I just do not want to have to deal with. Oh, a nudge. At least we still get the torch. Some sort of life. More buffs. I really would prefer if you would stop with that. Dodge. Stress from perfectionist. Oh!
This battle is not yet over.
Well, that was painful. Come on, please. I need you to take some hits. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Okay, at least you crit yourself as well. Are they guaranteed to crit on a marked target? I hope they're guaranteed to crit on a marked target at this point, because otherwise I just got crit twice in a row. With nothing interfering with it. Thank you. Okay, this has become a crit fest. There was a crit heal, a crit... Was that 4 crits in a row? Or was there dodge in there? My memory's awful, so... You have our highest accuracy. You have to hit them. You have to be able to hit them. Will heal them up because they are our tank. Don't crit, please. Thank you. That's even better than not critting. I expected you to just to hit at least. Okay, that's their just get back into position move. So we were pretty good on that front. They're also now out of. Jesus! Also, this guy has -3 crits received chance. I just gotta point that out as well. So, if it's not guaranteed crit if they're marked, I'm legitimately terrified. Because that means I'm scared of what the hell their crit chance is. You're in the front, 70% chance. That's a kill if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, as long as this guy doesn't go first. We get Sinister Shot this guy or this guy. I'm going to do it on this guy. Even though there are less people that can hit them. I feel like it will be worth it. I will also expiate the front because they can use their big move. And I want to reduce the damage of the big move. Because the big move is big. When it hits. As I said, early game is quite usually a misfest. I don't want to invest another one, even if I do this. I have a chance that it does. So, bleed, my friend, bleed. Skull smash dash. That's not nothing. That's not nothing. That's the repositioning tool. Okay. You are dead. Yes, you're dead. I had to double check again. The repositioning tool is terrifying. I think it might be more terrifying than the chest carver because that can stun. Well, I didn't expect any of that. I did not expect any of that. That was... Oh boy. Die. Just die. Die painfully. Okay, after the attack, they die. Okay, so it's not guaranteed to crit on a marked target, meaning that was just terrible luck. And again, -3% crits received chance.
Stand your ground.
This did not go well. I will say though, if I'm not mistaken, Vastal does have, yes, stand tall, remove mortality debuffs. So if anyone's getting on death's door, I'm glad it's them, because the debuffs can mean nothing once we get to camp, basically. Yeah. So, stunning this guy just ain't gonna happen. It just ain't. And I want to get this guy out so they can... Mainly so I can kill the other one. Good healing crit. Okay. So little healing from expiated now. Let's also... Unfortunately, the stress is low enough that the battle heal isn't increasing its healing. I will also heal them with that. Die. Good. Let's also start using bleed out, because that should work out better with how much health this guy has. I will debuff them with I wanted to debuff them with less things, but they had the resistance. I should have thought about that. Oh wow, you target someone without the mark. Thank you. That's actually one of the times I think I wanted you to do that, because now the damage is spread out, so the party-wide cure is better. What is the... Okay, the light's decent. Another reason I wanted buckshot is just so we can hit people in the front, but I do think it is still better to just heal back up our tank a little bit more. Same in this. Let's see if Boudica can just hit it. That was with a damage reduction. Jesus. Chill. Oh, some Amber and Valor marks, and you know, good things from that match. Good things. Okay. Oh, and I forgot to say this earlier, but we are gonna ignore this room. We only need to explore 90% of rooms, and it's just not worth a backtrack, especially not when we're testing a torch thing. Yeah, just no one. No one! Okay, I should've... Okay. Okay, fair. I didn't realize how high their resist was total. I should've kept more eye on that. Yeah, okay. So healing was definitely the better option. I do have to do this on first turn, because there's not really any other option for them.
Our care for one another is what sets us apart.
Cry whisper. Sis. Okay, solid advance. So this is above. Let us bulwark the faith, so that we can hopefully guide some of their attacks. Guide some of their attacks, please! At least you didn't do anything, but Jesus. I do think... Yeah, I still just want them down. Samsara Life is one of the main things that I keep thinking about when I'm thinking about not targeting anyone but them, because if they get that out a few too many times while we're targeting other people, we'll do no damage. They crit the did they increase the increase chance? Did they increase the crit chance, or is this just my luck? It's probably just my luck. I want to know. Like, I want someone to tell me. I would prefer that. Or is this just base crit chance being base crit chance? Like, I would think at this point we'd get a few more non-crits. It's not like we're in the darkness. Lower protections and accuracy. So lower accuracy. Actually, lower protections on the grunt because they would redirect it from the Rakshasa. Yeah, I do think actually that's a good idea, specifically because it targets the grunt. I need to deal with them at this point. You don't do actual damage, you do blight damage. So, good Divine Comfort. I think I do actually want to do Divine Comfort here. Transcend. Okay. That's the issue with leaving that guy around. They become, rather than their human form, they go into Jinn form, which is fun. That's still on cooldown? Yeah, that's still on. You know what? I'm not even gonna, if it bleeds this match, I'm just gonna bleed out. Fuck! Missed. Okay, we need some damage in on this guy. Yes, just hit the... I do gotta point out, like, this might... I know this is partially just a me thing, but every time that sword swings... I get it might be an actual form, but every time, I don't see a sword. He looks like he's just swinging it like a big hammer, just like, donk, thump. Doesn't look like he's trying to kill a guy, just looks like he's trying to knock him out. Which I do respect, but they are trying to kill you, so please have... Leave. Okay, we're having some luck. We're having some luck with the dodges. Okay, dodge or crit. There is no in between. It's just because this could kill. That gets them out of the way. protections and accuracy. It would just be lowering their accuracy, which, while good, I do not think is worth it. Rakshasa, Thaumaturge, Rakshasa, Thaumaturge, Rakshasa, Thaumaturge. I'm assuming low chance on Caustic for a disease, so low chance for permanent impact, chance of murder on us if we're not careful. Shoot the spirit. Shoot them repeatedly with bullets. We will kill the spirit with bullets. Shoot the spirit. I can stack the damage. Honestly, yeah. Let's stack it. They can have even less damage in crit. Okay. Reasonable. Caustic impact. Luckily, for us, this is another thing I will actually think about a little bit. They do have thick-blooded Vassal, so they can resist more of that light. It's another reason why I wanted them to be our tank, knowing that Thaumaturges would probably be around. Can't hit the front, so let's just hit them. Let's also smite. Okay, I didn't. Turns out I didn't need to push in that one, but couldn't have. Maybe I could have. I didn't. I should have double checked if that was in the range to auto hit or not. If it was, then I actually could have known. I'm pretty sure, because I think the lowest amount of damage would have been enough. Dodge. Shoot them.
Strike them down. Do not relent.
Good shot. We're at full light, so I will take this time to kind of want to keep people at 25 just because the battle heal does more. We're low enough stress that I don't want to manage that, so I will just do that. And Judgment, so their next action kills them. Because if I recall correctly, they can't actually resist Expiate. Could be wrong though, I can't remember, honestly. Ooh!
We press on. There is much to do.
More accuracy and speed on the prep round, less speed after. Huh. Well, less speed after. Hold on. These roll accuracy, yeah? Honestly, I'm gonna put that on the vessel. And usually you want the vessel to be acting quick, but I think with our speed happening the way it is, well, usually you want everyone to be acting. I think with the way our speed's going, that we can afford to have the vessel act later. A side of sinister rituals. Now, cleansing salt will either make this good or horrible. So, cross fingers. Yay! Sense of wellness. Honestly, that was pretty good. What are you? A disturbing implement of the Lost Legion. Okay, mutilated head. Don't touch. No touchy the head.
You must keep eyes
That is
peeled.
what we have. Yes, I can't. We're early game. I don't have any scouting things. I don't want to touch this without cleansing. So, yeah. We're not going to. Wicked weapons of a forgotten era. Let's just rifle.
Our cause
Oh,
is righteous,
decorative ones.
but requires funds.
Okay, so low torch runs. This is extra dodge and crit. Less speed, but that's obviously only for a low torch run. Otherwise, you just get the less speed, which is bad. What is the base scout chance? I can't actually remember what the base scout chance is. I really would like to know at this point. Let's expiate. Okay, so there's a commander, a thaumaturge, a rib annihilator. I know it's champion, but just bone crusher. You're the bone crusher now. So this is damage and crit. Since it's damage and crit, I don't think the commander's actually gonna be that good on it. From what I can tell, the commander is more based on their buffs. And obviously the grunt's not, because the grunt's probably going to be guarding, and their slash is good, but not that good. Thaumaturge obviously doesn't do it by that, so yeah, champion. I was just talking through it to myself there, but yeah, we don't want the champion to be dealing damage, and we saw what they do with crits. So, no, I don't like that. Prot and speed if in their proper positions, it looks like. Yeah. Prot and speed if in the positions of where they were when that went off. Let us... Protections and accuracy? I mean, it looks like the commander does give, oh yeah, they get procs from that, and I want to lower that guy's accuracy in particular, so yeah. Let's do it! Let's do it. You motherfucker. You cured my debuffs on them.
Our path is revealed.
Holy vengeance. Infinite holy vengeance. From a faithless party. So Rallying Horn's a buff. What's the buff? Oh, more damage. No. Please no. Mercy. 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 Image of train slash. Yep. Stunning's not gonna happen on that guy. So I will do that. I do kind of want to lower their damage, but I really don't feel like letting them get the riposte off would be good for me. Does this count as... This counts as an attack because it has an accuracy base. Risky, but let's see. It was a crit. I'm fine with that. It was a crit. And they are now dead unless... oh no, they died at the expiate. Okay. I don't need to think about it then. I was about to say they're dead unless the thaumaturge heals them. But no, they're just dead. So hit them. Though I do need to actually be dealing with the musketeer now. Rallying him. Stop with the horn! Stop with the horn! Yeah. Well! Bleed out's meant to cause bleed. I guess we just cut them in half. Judging by the positioning of that. They didn't cause them to bleed or sever an artery or anything. No, they just cut them in half. Oh, good crit on the two people that needed it most. Thank you. I will smoke screen to reduce the prots and such. I will hit. I also am thinking that I'm going to camp here because this should be like halfway through. That's my main reasoning, like legitimately, because not using a camp is you don't get an inventory slot as well as you don't get the benefits of camp, and the benefits of camp just make things easier for you. Unless you get ambushed, of course. So I don't want to, you know, not have it be used. We don't want to have too good to use syndrome here, and it's not like it's a boss level. I'm sorry. What the fuck was that? What the darkest dungeon final level eldritch bullshit was that? Why is my accuracy so terrible against you? I'll just try to stun. Honestly. Yeah, okay, it worked. Good. And I'm stunning. I should have expiated. Miss. Should have expiated. And I should have expiated because I am going to take the damage, meaning they're going to heal a bit.
Drives into the ground.
I kind of don't want to kill them yet now. I don't want to kill them yet because I can get this off, and as long as my boy can smite. Okay, Vassal? Vastal. Not Vestal. Not Vassal. Vastel.
Keep it up.
I like you. Leftover pottery. Just peer inside. Only dust. That was not peering inside. You broke the thing. That wasn't peering inside. Shame. 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 Ooh, vendor. In exchange for supplies. I'm going to assume you mean, you know, Valor Marks or Makata or Jewels. It's not Makata, is it? It's gotta be like Mataka. Mataka? I really do need to look up pronunciation. I'm gonna rest first because I don't think they leave and it'll just, you have inventory space for whatever we get.
Together we will rise.
One. Actually, I'm going to this room. I'm not going to this room, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I use 8 food, I would need to not get 2 hunger checks within 4 hallways. If I recall correctly, you can't get a hunger check after you've just gotten a hunger check. So it should literally be impossible if I go on this path and don't give away any more of my food to have 2 checks. Okay. Let's stand tall. Ah, fuck. You're the one person that can't remove it from yourself. I forget about that, because it really does feel to me like that should just be... Damn. We will Sanctuary, though, because Sanctuary is our best, nighttime ambush prevention. By best, I think I mean only. That is correct. We will do some scouting. We'll use... Should we use Champion Cinco? I don't think we've made 10 attacks with them. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is because to gain more stress... Well, I guess it's 26, so, 8, technically. This only is a downside. Like, the on-attack miss self plus 3 stress is only a downside if you miss 10 attacks. Assuming you're using this near 30, of course, to recover. And with their already high accuracy, especially, granted that would be staggering with Perfectionist, but because of Perfectionist, I kind of want them to not miss anyway, and I did things to make sure of that. So I'm just gonna champion Zico here. Long story short, I don't think this is gonna give us more stress than it just healed. Do we have one Encourage lying around? Yes, we have one Encourage lying around. So now everyone's at 0 stress. A rare occurrence indeed. Let's produce a random supply item. Okay, another shovel. So if there's any obstruction, any reasonable amount of obstruction on the rest of this level, we'll be able to clear it. And that, I do believe, is everything we can do. Yep.
The darkness will not impede us.
Okay.
We are the flame.
So I'm going to give you some of this. Hold up. You don't accept that. Do you accept Amber? No. Do you accept Valor? No. Do you accept Torch?
Be gentle. For sale or for study, these artifacts are precious.
Okay, so they said not much, but I'll take it. So I'm assuming that means that they would have preferred something other than Torch. Like, Torch is probably their lowest bar. Next I'm gonna have to try, like, giving them a shovel, I suppose. We just gave them Torch this time because we, you know, have other ways of dealing with our Torch. First round, we'll have a little bit lower if this is... Ooh, scouting happened! Yeah, there's no room curio, so I didn't want to go there anyway. We actually got scouting! I don't even know if we got scouting in the first episode. I think this might be our first scout. That's another reason, by the way, you want to do camping early, obviously. Okay, whose trap disarm chance is the highest? 80, 60, 70, 60. That actually surprises me. I would have thought that these would be flipped. Like, this would be a 70% and this would be an 80. Although I do guess Hellion did, like, grow up in a, what am I thinking of? In, like, a raid, no, not raiding party. In a tribe that most likely did set up a lot of traps. So, honestly, it makes sense. A heap of Rec Cartouche tech. Let's use the archaeologist tools on the Rex tech.
Secure it and march on. We still have much to do.
Okay, so more things as well as a rampart shield for only the men-at-arms. More rampart damage, more stun skill chance, which is the rampart skill if I'm not mistaken, but less speed. So this is, it's called the rampart shield. It's quite literally just made for you to be doing spammy rampart shit. With less speed, assumedly to counteract the fact that you are stunning, and early stuns can be dangerous. Okay. Ah! Catacombs technician. Tactician. Bleh. Minus 50% chance party surprise in catacombs. Interacting with traps and articles in catacombs gives damage and crit. Successfully, if I do believe. It's not just any time. Yeah, successfully. Be really funny if, like, oh, I failed. I suddenly feel more powerful. Although I do believe I've played characters like that before. One hunger check. It should literally. You can only have one hunger check per hallway. I know that one for sure. So even if I was wrong about it being, you know, guaranteed. Oh! I thought we would have had to do all but one. Guess it didn't count, so I couldn't fully know, but gonna poke out specifically if there's supplies. That's exactly what I was thinking about. It was well supplied. Just gonna pump the torch, and then we're gonna be going down this hallway and maybe down this hallway. We're just gonna poke our head out. I think actually on this hallway we're just gonna go down and do that one. So I'm going to remove. What am I gonna? Okay, right. I'm gonna get rid of the torches for that, for the archaeology kit. Gonna keep the shovel. I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. Although, granted, entering this hallway might have actually reset it. So even if I was right on that, it might have just fucked me. But I'm putting my money where my mouth is on the food. Or I guess I'm not putting my money. No, I am putting my money where my mouth is instead of the food. We can't. The torch was going out. Okay. Let's see. We have sniper. I do want to point out. I'm just gonna call them dancer, at least until I get a pronunciation guide, because that is You know what? Fuck it. Terpsioren, or something like that. That's my best guess. I know Rakshasa just because of D&D. Just weaken and expiate you. There's no one to cleanse the debuffs on this one, so they're actually gonna be good. Quiver draw. Is Quiver draw just a thing they have that's basically just a pass on this round? My best guess is Quiver Draw is like cleanses their cooldowns or something. Like they're set up so that to mimic archery, they have cooldowns in their attacks and they use the Quiver to reload it. It doesn't show up on the thing, so I have to imagine it's basically a nothing move apart from that. Oh. Both dodge. It's gonna happen occasionally. Why do you have low accuracy again? I believe, is it from that? I mean, yeah, they have lower accuracy against high HP targets, but why do you have? I just completely blanked on them getting hit. Oh right, the Cry of the Spirit. I don't know how my brain blanked on all of that, guys. That's just what happened. Of course, it's smoke screen. Only hit one, but it hit one that is quite annoying. With that guard and the health of the Rakshas at this point, we're not going to be able to get them down before they transform. And I do believe they heal on their... Yeah, on their transcend, they heal. So, it's... The sniper just doesn't seem to be updating their move list. Interesting. That pull is annoying. That is for sure. What's my stun chance with these people? I will stun the grunt just so I can debuff this guy later. Maybe I've already that's only 60% though. That's only 65. So this is 60%, but they're closer to dead. This is 65, but they're less close, but it does more damage. If I high roll, they die. If I medium roll and get the bleed, they die, if I recall correctly, because it's 4. So only if I low roll on this, they miss. This just can't kill, unless it crits, of course. I'm obviously excluding crits from the equation here, just to make it simple. But it is more likely to hit. I do think if it bleeds, it's better here. Ah! Literally perfectly perfectly at the point where it doesn't kill. Although expiated will kill them on their next action, regardless at this point. So maybe I just leave them up. They lifed. They lifed. They lifed. Yeah, okay, that looks to be what the sniper does. The sniper looks to be just... The quiver shot is just their breather. It's what they have to make the rest of their kit balanced. Theoretically, at least. But that's just a breather move to make sure that the rest of their kit doesn't seem nightmarish. Because if they could pull every turn with that damage, especially as just an early game enemy, that would just be death. Like, that would legitimately just be death, because there are so many, especially early game, where you cannot, where you can build things slightly wrong, especially if you don't know an area is going to have movement things, and you can just lose an entire party immediately. It is legitimately that important to, they really want to keep doing the Cry of the Spirit, don't they? It is legitimately that important. If you do not have moves covering every slot, you need to have another way of dealing with movement. If you know there's going to be someone dealing with movement. If it's only occasionally, you can force your way through it, but again, there's a risk that you take. Like everything in Darkest Dungeon. Unless you have, you know, like 95 accuracy on all hits. Focused Impact, okay. Train Slash, okay. Health doesn't matter at this point. Stress matters at this point, because we're not taking another fight after this. This is the last fight. Unless we get a hallway fight immediately. So literally all that matters here is not dying and lowering stress. So if we can just leave the grunt especially, I would be... Oh, I would be so over the moon. I would be in fucking Pluto. Good stun. I do believe that is them dead. Yes, that is them dead. I will Inspiring Cry on the Musketeer. We might just be able to leave the Musketeer in town for a few days. Because there is I believe there's still an idle stress reduction. I could be wrong, though. I think it is low, though. If it exists. Can't remember if that's just from a district or if that's a base game. Let us expiate you so that you start killing yourself. I don't believe you get any healing. We get some. So it's better than nothing. Do you have... Alternate skill? I can only imagine alternate skill is because of, like, trinkets. I was just trying to figure out what that was about. It's probably trinkets, if I had to guess. You're dead. You're not dead. Let's see if we can make you dead with a bleed. That would be perfect. Not perfect. Close, though. Do I want to do more stress healing? I think I want to do more stress healing, so I'm just gonna... Specifically, I want to do more stress healing because they're dead.
Does not regard the method. Our care for one another is what sets us apart.
Can we... They might be dead. Don't be dead. Oh, they're dead.
Wars consist of a great many battles. Continue.
We don't need... Which is more expensive? They're 50 gold versus 10 gold. So that's a stack of 20. Okay, I'm replacing this. Right, because this is 20, so that's the same. That's 15, so that's slightly more. Keys are 20, that's 75, okay. Sorry. I had to double check that laudanum was the least expensive thing. Because you do get to sell back any provisions you don't use, obviously at a lesser rate.
Excellent.
That is our next successful adventure, our second dungeon completed. Good. We will see what our little traits are. Balance, more move, resist. Very good for a Hellion because breakthrough, their movement ability debuffs them. So as you can imagine, you probably don't want to rely on that too much. Archimania or something like that. Damage, more damage versus the Corvat, so it is one of the negatives that has a positive, but a 50% chance to forcibly interact with Corvat's related curios. I am almost definitely going to either have to 100% remove that or never take them on one with those types of curios. Because forcibly interacting with curios can end terribly, because you can't use items. So if there's anything that is guaranteed to be bad with those types of curios, unless you use an item, if they interact with it, it could just be like 50 stress. Because the game does expect you to use items or to get punished on a lot of curios. Speed of HP low with last gasp. That... It's not... Obviously it's not the best because it's not on it. But that should be pretty good. That'll either mean they can patch up or depending on the kit, they could just kill someone possibly. Just more accuracy. Always nice. Always nice to just have a little bit more accuracy.
I had not anticipated you would bring such an unconventional assortment of warriors.
Yeah, so over time, some negative quirks. It's a typical thing. Negative quirks will eventually just set in. And once those quirks set in, they just become hard to get rid of. Okay. But anywho, that is the end of this episode. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you didn't like it, comment if you want to comment. All that jazz. And I will see you next time.